Hey guys, welcome to today's video and to the latest installment of Spicy Licks. If you're new to my channel, this is basically just a little series I do on here where I teach you a lick that I've written myself, teach you it note for note, and then as well as that talk a bit about the theory behind the lick so that you can understand why it works and take the sort of essence of the lick and be able to apply it to your own playing, so that you're not just simply replicating what I do every time, but so that you understand what it is that I've done here and you're able to carry that information into your own playing style. So today's lick that I'm going to teach you, you heard in the intro, is the very first few notes that I played. That was the stupidly fast sort of ascending sixth run that was using alternate picking, palm muting, and hybrid picking. And just to refresh your memory, here is that same lick once again. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, but I would still consider this 2-speed. So here is the lick once again. Okay, and here is that same lick again, but this time slowed way down so that you can get a better grasp of the actual notes that I'm playing. And as well as that, I'm going to put tab on the screen, so if you want to be able to play this note for note, then you're able to pause the video and do that if you so wish. Okay, so this is basically a lick that works well over a country sort of train jam. Train meaning the sort of snare rhythm that you hear in that backing track. And so basically like a fulsome prison blues style track. And this one is in the key of G major, so we're using position 1 of the G major scale. And I'm playing sixth on the G and high E strings. So sixth meaning the notes are 6 notes apart. So I'm starting with a sixth on fret 4 of the G and fret 3 on the high E. So you can hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 notes apart. And I'm also playing sixth on fret 5 on the G and high E, fret 6 and fret 7. So these are the main notes I'm working with. Let me just tune up real quick. So these are the main notes that we're working with. Now, real quick, fret 6 here. Technically that doesn't belong to the scale, it's more of just, well, they're more passing notes than notes that actually belong to the scale. Technically, this fret 6 on the G string, you could pass off as the flat 5 of the G blues scale, but I don't really think of it that way in the context of this lick. It's just more of a chromatic passing note. And in the lick, you'll notice that I actually precede these sixths. That is the most annoying word to say as far as music terminology goes. I precede these sixths with a couple of additional notes every time. So here's the first part of the lick. So what I'm doing there is I am going 2, 3, 4 on the G string, and when I'm doing that I'm alternate picking, so I'm going down, up, down, but I'm also palm muting this string, and then I'm plucking 3 on the high E twice. So that's where the hybrid picking comes in. I'm using my middle finger here, so down, up, down, and palm muted. So that's the first part of the lick. Again, if you want to know it note for note, then I suggest you go back and pause the video when I demonstrated it at a slower tempo and just learn it that way. But for now, let's move on to the next part of the lick. Same sort of idea, but now we're starting to ascend the sixth. So we start with the first one. So 2, 3, 4 on the G and 3 on the high E, but you just pluck that note once this time. Then we go 3, 4, 5 on the G, 5 on the high E, 4, 5, 6 on the G, 6 on the high E, and 5, 6, 7 on the G, and 7 on the high E. So that's that whole part once again. Yeah. There we go. And together with the first part. So what I find to be appealing about the sound of that lick is the contrast in sort of texture, and by that I mean the contrast between the sound of the muted picked notes on the G string and the plucked hybrid pick notes on the high E string. Now usually what I would do at this point in the video is take that lick and show you how it can be applied to sort of different styles of music, you know, maybe something at a slower tempo like a ballad type track, or you know, a mid-tempo rock song. Show you how you can basically use the lick in a variety of styles. But to be honest, for this lick in particular, I feel like because of the combination of notes and the techniques used to play it, it really just works best for country music. You know, fast-paced country jams where, you know, you're in a honky-tonk bar and you want to pull some flashy lick out of your trick bag and impress people. That's what this lick is for. But what I do want to make you aware of is the fact that you can apply this to sixths all over the fretboard, and you don't always have to, you know, precede the sixth with those additional notes that I was adding in there. So instead of going, you could just go. For example. Now, if you want to know more about sixths and how you can find them all over the fretboard, as well as the major scale, major pentatonic scale, minor pentatonic scale, the blues scale, all of that fundamental theory knowledge that guitar players can actually apply to their playing. If you want to know more about all of that good stuff, then check the link in the description below. I've got 50% off coupons for my online guitar course, Bulletproof Guitar Player. So to finish up, I just want to show you a slight variation on this lick, and it's basically using the exact same techniques and sort of rhythmic feel, but instead of ascending, we're going to descend, and we're going to start up at the dusty end of the fretboard. So the lick goes like this. Now it's important to note that what is happening there on the second sixth that I play, so this one here, what's happening there is I'm not actually playing the major seventh that is found in the major scale, which would be this note. I'm actually playing the minor seventh, which I guess you could say is taken from the G minor pentatonic scale. And that's fine because minor pentatonic, major pentatonic, and major scales all work well together when used tastefully over, you know, country train jams like Folsom Prison Blues. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, that note's not in the major scale, how does that work? It's fine to throw it in that interval now and then to sixth to give it a bit more, you know, variation, I guess. And if you were to just play that lick and then stop playing, I think it would sound a little weird. So what I would encourage you to do is when you reach the end of the lick, move down, and try and come up with an ending using, you know, the blues scale, the minor pentatonic, and the major pentatonic, some combination of those, so that you're not just going, because that would sound kind of abrupt if you were to just end it that way. So try. Just try experimenting with different endings for that lick. Okay everyone, that does it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this installment of Spicy Licks, please hit the like button below and click subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next week.